Hi, it's Dwyer from gamblersadvisory.com. I'm here today to talk about a blockbuster fight. I believe it's one of the better fights that are on the docket that has not yet been announced to the public but will be shortly. And it is a fight at 168 pounds. That is the super middleweight division between Jermain Taylor, who I expect to be favored in the fight. The fight will be in America. Taylor is an American, and he is fighting England's Carl Froch. Taylor is 28, 2 and 1 with 17 knockouts, and he's taking on Carl Froch, who's known as the Cobra. Carl Froch is 24 and 0 with 19 knockouts. Now, Froch is the champion in this fight. The fight would be for Carl Froch's title. Jermain Taylor is the mandatory challenger. Now, our pick in this fight might surprise some people. I actually feel pretty strongly in this pick. I'm taking Carl Froch in this fight. Carl Froch is a chess player. Carl Froch has the kind of style to beat Jermain Taylor. Taylor needs to touch his opponent. He needs to establish a jab. He needs to keep you at the end of a jab to be successful. He doesn't know what to do when a fighter gets inside, like Kelly Pavlik did. Kelly Pavlik stopped Jermain Taylor in that first fight. For the record, let me also say that I thought the second fight was uh, a debatable decision. I thought Jermain Taylor probably did enough to win that second fight. That's another story. We'll save that for another day. But let me just say that Jermain Taylor, in my opinion, doesn't really know what to do against a guy who knows how to get inside. He also doesn't know what to do against a guy who's a skillful boxer who knows how to stay outside the range of his jab. I would encourage viewers to this video to take a look at Jermain Taylor's fight against Corey Spinks. Quite frankly, I know the judges gave Jermain Taylor, who has a nice personality, who has a great pedigree, who is good for boxing. I know the judges gave Jermain Taylor the decision in that fight. Quite frankly, Corey Spinks, at least on my scorecard, won that fight by several rounds. Let me also point out, too, that Winky Wright, I thought, might as well have brought a blackboard and chalk into the ring because I thought he completely schooled Jermain Taylor over 12 rounds. That fight was ruled a draw. More importantly, with a cerebral fighter like Carl Froch, who has the entire cupboard of skills, the Winky Wright tape, the Corey Spinks tape, the Kelly Pavlik tape, they all lay out the blueprint on how to beat Jermain Taylor. In a nutshell, Carl Froch is a master at just standing in the ring, staying outside the range of a guy's jab. That's actually strategy. I know it looks like Carl Froch is being lethargic. He's actually being strategic. Then Froch will step inside the range of a fighter's jab and will inflict a lot of damage. Carl Froch, quite frankly, has one of the bigger punches in boxing. Quite frankly, both of these guys have bang. Jermain Taylor, as Kelly Pavlik fans recall, actually put Kelly Pavlik on the canvas early in their first fight. He didn't know how to close the deal. While Taylor does have a very big punch, and while Taylor does have an excellent jab, I believe that Carl Froch will throw Taylor off of his rhythm, will stay outside Taylor's range, then will come inside, and Taylor will, in essence, be somewhat defenseless. Let me point out that the best fight for laying out a blueprint on how to beat Jermain Taylor is the second fight between Jermain Taylor and the Master, Bernard Hopkins. By then, Bernard Hopkins figured out exactly how to beat Jermain Taylor. If you look at that fight, Hopkins, a much older man than Taylor, carefully picks his spots, is outside of Taylor's range, then comes inside when Taylor has expended himself to do damage against Jermain Taylor. Hopkins wasn't being lethargic in that fight. He was actually being strategic. The judges, unfortunately for him, in that second fight seemed to be more dazzled by youth and hand speed than by boxing strategy. Here, Carl Froch actually has a heavier punch, much heavier, than Bernard Hopkins. Carl Froch is a guy who actually stopped Robin Reed. Carl Froch, quite frankly, beat a better fighter than Jermain Taylor in his last fight when he beat Jean Pascal. For boxing fans who don't know about Jean Pascal, I say please look up his tapes here on YouTube. I know the nation of Canada right now is nodding their head because they know about Jean Pascal. Believe me when I say Pascal is better than Jermain Taylor. So I believe that Carl Froch has a chance to win this fight by a wide margin. The fight does carry risk. It is in the United States, and I know there'll be an optical illusion going on during the fight of Taylor being more active than Carl Froch. Don't be fooled by that optical illusion. I believe you should take Carl Froch in this fight. You should get pretty good odds as well because Carl Froch is relatively unknown, and I'm expecting the Cobra, as he is known, to be the underdog in this fight by a wide margin. We believe the casinos will get this fight wrong. The better fighter is actually the fighter from the UK, Carl Froch. Let us know what you think. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com, and of course, don't be bashful here on YouTube. Leave your comments, and as I always say, if we're wrong, punish us here on YouTube, but if we're right, give us 5 stars. This is Dwyer from Gamblers Advisory, and remember, when you bet, always use your head. Good luck.